Eyenie Schultz, the Technicolor Priestess, is the creator of the Way of the Icon, a unique process and set of cosmic principles that synergizes personal style and energetics to help her clients become fully expressed and embodied and effortlessly take their brands to iconic. I love it. I love it. I won't read the full thing because we're going to dive into some things. So I'm super excited
Amazing.
that you're here today. So now,
I am
remind me,
too.
you're in, is it the south of France?
I'm in the south of France. Yep.
Fabulous.
Yep. Yep.
Fabulous. So, Ejene, how did
Yes.
you get to be where you are now?
Where do I begin? Let's see, abridged version, because as we both know, like there's a lot behind the scenes of getting to the now point, right? So basically, as we're talking business and the style and all this Technicolor Priestess stuff, um, from the time I was really small, I always felt that there was something I could feel and sense the energetics of style, of aesthetics, of there was something there always that called me. I resisted it for many, many years. I tried to follow a traditional path, being the dutiful daughter. So I tried to go to normal, university, master's degree, corporate job, all that jazz. And clearly every day I was walking to the bathroom and crying because I knew there was more to life than this, as Bjork sings, right? Um, so eventually I decided I'm going to do this coaching thing. I like helping people. I'm going to do that. So I resisted the style, was trying my hardest to just be a life coach. And then it kind of clicked. Like I was trying to show up in this sort of what I thought, because about 13 years ago, what I thought was like the way you're supposed to show up if you're a life coach, right? You're supposed to be like really approachable next to a tree, looking very like, comfortable and confident, and like so people can entrust themselves to you. And so I resisted the style part, and then I had this sort of flash of, you know what? Like I'm hearing crickets. No one's coming my way because I'm not excited about who I'm being. I'm not excited about how I'm showing up. I'm showing up how I think I'm supposed to be showing up. And that kind of created this whole whirlwind where I really understood style is more than just style. It's not frivolous. It's not superficial. It's not fluffy. This is like real stuff. And little things started happening where I started noticing, like I got attuned to Reiki, and I started connecting the dots with the style and personal expression with the energetics. I saw that more and more, and then slowly I work with the elements to help people express. So air, water, fire, earth, and space. That whole system sort of started coming into my awareness, and I started noticing people energetic. I could start seeing what was missing from them, quote unquote, or what they were avoiding through how they were dressing. And then I finally just accepted I'm a weirdo and I love style, so let's do this. And I went for it. And then that has evolved and expanded, and now we're here. And it's evolved into branding, because at first I was like, I'm a one-trick pony. I can only do the styling or whatever in my mind, right? And then I realized it's not only styling, and it touches every area of our life, as you know, right? And so now I call it branding, which is also never an accurate name, but that's okay. That's how we got here.
Wow, I love it. Well, I love that I think so many of us can go through our lives, especially as women, feeling like, well, I should look a certain way and I should wear this and I should be the dutiful daughter and, no matter what age. So I really honor you for listening to that, to like paying attention to, hey, you know what, that's not really right for me. And walking to the
Yeah,
bathroom every day crying, like that is a good indication that you're not and where you should be. But I think
probably.
of us are taught to just, oh, just ignore it, stuff it down, don't feel it. And so I think style is, I like to think of style, it's like one of the best ways we have to truly and authentically express who we are. And if we can't do
Yeah,
that, like that's a problem.
exactly. I totally agree. I totally agree. It can feel like, for me, it's like forgetting about like something that's so accessible and so immediate. And
Mhm.
for me, if I even call it like you're leaving a big manifesting and energy. I'm sure we're going to talk about this, but manifesting energetic tool, just like you're laying it on the table and leaving it there when it could be serving you in the most magical and fun ways, right? And it's
Mhm.
immediate. It's one of the few things that are immediate. That is immediate, you know?
Yes. And I like to say, we get dressed every day. And so you could either not think about your style or your clothes or just put things on and go through the motions, which, at
Yeah,
some point in our life we just have to do because we've got bigger things going on. But then when you have time, you can come back to it and really say, hey, what do I want to wear? What do I get to wear? We
Yeah.
we're putting clothes on at least once a day, most of us, sometimes two or more. So depending on what we're doing,
True.
and we have so many opportunities to express.
And
So
make it fabulous. Why not just make it fabulous?
yeah, why not? So how do we make it how do we make it fabulous? How do we activate our style? Let's talk about that for a little bit because first of all, let's talk about what does it mean to even activate your style?
Yeah, I love that question. So essentially what we're taught, like you were saying, you were touching on a minute ago, right, is that we learned that everything is about like what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to be, pleasing other people, not making other people uncomfortable, right? And along with this comes clothing. It gets put in the mix, right? If you want to be respectable, if you want to be considered professional, if you want to be credible, if you want to be taken seriously, if you want people to actually hear your message, if you want to make sales, you're supposed to like this and you're supposed to do this, right? And you're definitely not supposed to do that stuff that somebody along the way decided was bad, even though all the rules are made up. Okay. So what I notice is there's all this, and I was the same way. Like, even though I had, I mean, the weirdness, it was always like spilling out. Like, there's no way to keep it under wraps, like totally. So it was always like seeping out anyway. But I was trying to come off as credible or serious or smart or whatever to other people. So
Mm,
we learn that everything that we do, the decisions we make, they're all external, that we make them externally, right? And that's why we're like, I don't know what to wear today. Going shopping is such a chore. Oh my God, I feel like, and everyone's like, oh my God, you look so cute, you look so trendy or whatever. And you're like, I do? Okay, because I feel kind of miserable. I feel, bleh, right? Or I feel like I'm in disguise.
mhm,
So the first step really to getting activated, to using your clothing as what they're meant to be, which is an energetic landscape. The
mm,
first thing is to remember that it's about you dressing internally, you dressing for you, not making it about other people, right? That's really the first step. And so when we put on something, so we've all had this moment, like I was raise your hand if you had the moment where even if you were in a moment, like in a time in your life where you felt whatever, quote unquote, frumpy, or you were in transition and maybe some of your clothes didn't fit, maybe after childbirth or something, or maybe you're just having a rough time and you're like, I can't be bothered. Um, Sometimes there was some time in there where you put on an outfit and accidentally felt like, can I drop S and F bombs here?
it's well, my podcast is rated as clean, so
Okay, so you
edit
and
that
you
out.
feel like
But
the stuff. You feel like all that in a bag of chips. All right. Thank you for telling me that. So you feel amazing and you're like, I don't even know what I did. I just grabbed it and put it on. And somehow it totally makes me feel like I can conquer the world. I can take over the world. I can do anything in this outfit, right? That's an activated outfit. And we
mm,
believe that it's a fluke until we remember, oh, and start really actively dressing for ourselves and internally. We think it's a fluke to find one of those outfits. Oh man, if I can only find another outfit or another jacket like this one, I just feel so amazing. I feel so powerful when I wear it, right? It's
mm,
because it is a garment that activates you. I call them iconic relics. So
mm.
there are pieces and there are combinations that are literally greater than the sum of their parts energetically, and they will boost and amplify you, and they will help you remember who you actually are, which
Yes,
is a magical icon, right?
yes.
So yeah,
Yeah, we're speaking the same language. I always talk about how things are greater than the sum of its parts, but it's like this, I like to say it's this alchemy that happens. And it's like
definitely.
this magic that you just exude. So your style is what you
Yeah.
exude, and it's just powerful.
Yep.
So, how do you know if your style is activated or if it needs to be activated or reactivated, or
Yeah.
how do you know?
Yeah. So one very easy way is to see how you get dressed. Like when you approach your closet to get dressed, are you going through the motions of like, oh, who am I going to meet today? Okay, I'm going to meet this person. They're a little bit more buttoned up and a little more whatever. They have a kind of more traditional preppy look. So okay, so I'm going to do something like that. I don't want to scare them, right? Or I'm going to meet with this friend who's really edgy, who I went to college with, and I don't want to look like a prude. I don't want her to think like judge me or think that I'm like not fun or something. So okay, what would she? I'm going to wear the off the shoulder thing in my like pleather pants. Okay, so that's one very good indication that you are probably not wearing activated outfits as much as you could. You still could land on an activated one, even if you're doing that, but it's going to be a fluke, right? So if you're sort of mentally polling to see who's going to be there, what you should do to like to control the narrative, that's a very good sign you're not dressing, as I call it, as iconic you. You're not wearing hashtag coded outfits, right? So
Yeah.
and you're overthinking it. So basically brain and your ego are leading the charge. They're the one, ego's deciding it because it wants to keep you in the identity that has been co-created by you and everyone in your life and society and whatever. That's a whole other topic. So that's a very good indication, right? If you go to your closet and it feels like dreadful, or you feel triggered, or you feel like you look and you feel turned off, like you feel really underwhelmed when you look at your closet, those are signs also that you've probably been for a while creating things for the external, right? So not activated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think those are the major ways. If you are also dressing to hide or
Mm.
dressing to mask certain parts of either your physical body or your personality or the truth about who you be, that's another indicator you're probably not right working with activation, with full activation.
Mm.
So in order to sort of start playing with that, you can start creating activated outfits, coded outfits with what you have right now, no matter what, really, because all it takes is a couple of pieces. We know this, right? Like I'm sure we've both helped people with very limited wardrobes create just mind-blowing things they never thought they would put together. So the number one thing I say is, if you're just working with what you've got right now and you can't do a total overhaul and go shopping and stuff, look at your closet right now. Like take 2 hours, block off 2 hours, look, scan, first of all, what just doesn't literally physically fit your body right now, because that is just energetic clutter and chatter in your closet. Get it out of there, right? So anything that literally doesn't physically fit, beautiful, get it out. Anything that brings up feelings or help, like sort of helps to perpetuate a narrative about who you're supposed to be or something that's wrong with you, maybe a memory or something connected to people in the past, whatever, something that actually isn't serving you, get it out of your closet. Things that literally perpetuate another, like a belief system, as in I'm not worthy, I'm frumpy, I need to get my poop in a group, man, why am I not doing this right, why am I not taking action on this, why am I invisible, all those pieces need to come out also, right? And then you see what you're left with. And even if it's 10 pieces, that's a beautiful start, as long as you don't go outside naked, right? Like you're going to be covered. And so from there, you literally start tapping into, not brain, because we want to start creating, not putting together, figuring it out, right? We want to start creating, and creation comes from something beyond our brain. And so if you look at your closet now, like as a and you're an artist and you're just going to create something magical that you're not attached to, your brain is not trying to create, you literally want it to feel random. So I teach my clients, you go to your closet and you literally just say, okay, iconic me, what are we wearing today? And you see the first piece that jumps out at you. Or you'll get a flash of a color or a piece or a pair of earrings or something, right? But you trust that and you follow that and you start getting dressed until you see a complete outfit, and you go and you feel into it, not with your brain, not with judgment, not with the rules, right? Oh, I'm not supposed to wear this for my no, iconic you knows. If you don't listen to the chatter and actually tap into iconic you, right? The real you. What is this like? Is this outfit, as I say? Well, I have a client who says heck yeah. She does not say the F bomb. So is this outfit a heck yeah? Is it a total and complete yes? Am I dressed in truth right now? And you'll know. And it might be scary, and it might be also kind of equal parts thrilling and kind of feel like you're being cheeky. But that's an activated outfit, right? Where you're like, wow, I've never put this together. I feel so alive. I feel electric right now. I feel like I can take over the world. And also it's kind of giving me a little bit of fear. My ego's scared. My brain is scared, right? That's you've landed on an activated outfit.
Yes,
That was my long-winded answer.
I love how you put that. Very, fabulous. That is
Thank
wonderful.
you.
So let's say somebody has decided that, oh my gosh, I don't like what's in my closet. I can't stand it. And
Yep.
they're feeling stuck. And they walk in their closet and they're not allowing themselves to feel. They're still like telling themselves, well, I should do this and I
Yeah.
should I should just make this work. Like, how do you really get out of this place of being stuck?
Yeah, so there are a couple things. So it really, because the stuckness is really, it is energetic, right? And it's kind of a, I don't want to say it's a choice, but it's a choice to keep repeating the same pattern, right? So it really is about disrupting the pattern. So even it just approaching your closet, if you chances are, if you feel stuck, you're going to your closet the same way. Your brain's telling you the same thing. You're judging yourself in the same way. You're just recreating a pattern every day, right? So I would say, I would invite you to play some games, like make it playful, because none of this is serious. Like life gets to be fun and it gets to be exciting and it gets to be easy, right? So you can do some silly stuff. I've even done this in my life. You can, if you have a child or a partner, you can say, hey, guess what? It's a closet takeover. You're going to go and you're going to pick out my outfit. And you can use any closet in the house. You can use yours. You can use your other parents. You can use mine, whatever it is. Pick out my outfit. And then, like, if you work from home, it's easy to just work from home and just play and kind of try it on for the day and just see. That's already changing up the energy,
Uh-huh.
right? That's one thing you can do. You can go to a store and just like play dress up there without having to buy anything at first, right? Just wear anything. Just go to the store and play. Have the clerk pick something out for you just for fun, not because they know you better. You're doing it to external, right? But it's just to get out of the pattern, break the pattern.
Mhm.
And another way is just to kind of what I was saying earlier, right? Go and just say, okay, iconic me, what am I wearing today? We're just going to play. It doesn't matter if I like it. It doesn't matter if my brain judges it. It doesn't matter. We're just experimenting. So show me what I'm going to wear. And then you can just play with that, right? You can also go, if you want to sort of start playing with possibilities of bringing other pieces in that aren't a big commitment or investment, you can subscribe to a membership box, right? To get different clothing and just see what they send and just play without saying, I don't like it and closing it up. Just pull it out, wear it, and just see what happens. Just notice how you feel. Notice what emerges. Notice how you start seeing your closet, right? That's a good way. Even going to a thrift or consignment store and just picking up some really, like, I've picked up before a bag of just random jewelry, earrings, necklaces, and just been
Uh-huh.
like, let's see what happens, right? You can do that. You can just play. That's what I would say. Instead of taking it so seriously and continuing to repeat, I'm stuck,
Mhm.
find ways to play, find ways to make it silly and seemingly not important, and
Mhm.
you'll see how your perspective changes when you don't take it so seriously.
Yeah, no, I love that perspective, and I love the idea of, like, have you ever had your daughter pick out or your partner pick out clothes?
Definitely. Definitely. And you can also, one fun thing, you can go shopping. I've had clients go and be like, oh my God, I didn't realize I was going to adore my husband's button up shirt with some tights, like button down, right? Go
Mm.
shop in your spouse, your partner's, your spouse's closet. Go shop in your, I used to love to go raid my grandparents' closet when they were around. They were both fashionistas, right?
Uh-huh.
Just play, experiment.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that. That's something I've never thought about. My husband's an avid golfer and has, like, a massive
Ah,
so for me, I'm like, "Yeah, that's not really polo shirt's a golf." He looks
that's
great,
the
and I'm like,
vibe.
"Probably won't be rating that," but the button down, some of his button down,
Yes.
like, "Yes, I want that." So
Exactly. And play, right? With a belt, ooh, with tights or with some slacks or who knows, or as a jacket. Like
yeah.
literally, there's so many possibilities.
I love that. I think sometimes, what we hear at Style Finder is so many women, I feel like they come to us and they've hit that point where they've lost their style, it's not activated, they're not feeling good. And
Yeah.
it's like it becomes this like heavy, I feel this heaviness.
Yeah.
And it becomes so serious. I'm like, no, just like, let's just play, let's just have fun. So I
Yeah.
love that you say that you encourage that. Because
Oh,
I
definitely.
when we don't look good and don't feel good, it can be hard to take that pressure off.
Oh, definitely. Because we're doing something wrong. We're told that we're
Mm,
supposed to have all of our poop in a group in every single area of our lives. And if we don't, then something must be wrong with us.
yes.
Something must be bad. We must have missed something, that like the memo that everyone else got, somehow we didn't get it, right? There's
Mhm.
lots of wrongness attached to it. So
Mm,
I say also, it's just a moment in time. Like if you, in the landscape of your life, it kind of doesn't matter that much, right? And you
right.
can you can snap back in an instant, as I'm sure you've seen with your clients, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting. They come
And
in, we've started doing some in-person signature style sessions. And I mean, that's what I've done for years. But
yeah,
it's amazing when people come in, they have no idea. And you put on something, you show them something, that you think is so simple, and they're like, I would never have thought about this. But it's just a
Exactly.
reframe, right? It's just having that different perspective.
Exactly.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why there's so many pieces in your closet, like that I guarantee you can use in ways that you've never thought of. Like a scarf can be a fun little shirt underneath a blazer, right?
mm,
A man's shirt, you can wear it backwards. You can cross it over with a belt. Like you can pop the color. There's so many possibilities even
mm,
with one piece, right? So even there, just experiment. What could I do with this item of clothing that I haven't thought of? And there are so many like endless possibilities. It is
yes.
just fun. It's
It is fun, but I think, as women, we have, I mean, I'm sure men have their issues too, but I think we have so many limiting
yeah,
beliefs around, you know, being able to express ourselves. It's not safe, or who am I
yeah.
to do this? Or
That's a big one. The safety.
yeah.
That's a big one, especially around like being what a big one. So in my system or process or framework, whatever, um, people who are fire, which fire, if you think of fire, it's very sexy, it's very edgy, it's in your face, right? So in my world, a lot of fire people, they really do feel vulnerable. They feel scared. They feel like they might not be safe if they're showing
Hmm.
that sexiness, right? So it is sort of a game of your brain telling you nope, that's too much, or you need to cover that up, or you that's too tight, or you're going to get the wrong kind of attention. Like, and we also it's perpetuated. We hear that all our lives as women, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah. So when we even shut that off and just again defer to ourselves, knowing that
Hmm.
what we are called to, what magnetizes and activates us, that's already creating a whole other energy, right? Like you're because even if you're dressing out of fear, you're still dressing for someone else, you're still dressing externally, you're not dressing for your truth, for your truest expression and embodiment, right?
Right. Right. So what I hear you
Yeah,
saying is, stop listening to what everybody around you is saying. Stop listening to your own head and just drop into your truth.
absolutely. I literally, when I have my group programs, I literally have everyone before a closet session remove their brain. Literally,
Yeah.
brain is not helpful. I'm sure it can come up with trendy things. It can turn a look to make it control the narrative or to help perception or whatever
Mm,
positioning. It's not going to create your truthful, iconic, cosmic, like most elevated look. It's
mhm.
impossible. Your brain can't do that because it's very limited. It wants to keep you safe and in like exactly as you are. So
Yes.
of course it doesn't want to change.
So how do you deal with that? Well, I might need it one day. If somebody comes to you and they're like, I just can't let go of anything because I might need it.
I love that. That's cute. It's brain. I love that. So what I do, when people when you go through your closet, I'm not saying you have to give it all to Goodwill or give it away to a friend or whatever, right?
Mhm,
I have everyone create a not yet or pause box. So you create a pause box, the stuff that you're like, I don't quite want to part with it, but I know it's not meant to be in the energetic landscape of my closet right now. I'm going to
mhm,
put it in the pause / not yet box. And then you put in your calendar for 2-3 months from now, go visit the pause box. And sometimes because you shifted so much, you're like, actually, I do want this piece. Or it can be like, why did I save this? Oh, I'm totally going to give it to Goodwill now, right?
right.
So if you just get it out of your sight and kind of create new patterning without it and then revisit, things probably will have changed by the time you do that.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting because
Yeah.
I've done that, and then I'll put stuff in the garage. It's like it's on its
Yeah.
way out. But then I'll go back. I'm like, oh my gosh, why was I going to get rid of that? And I find
Yeah.
like a new favorite. So it's been fun.
Exactly. It
Usually
goes
it's
both
like,
ways.
yeah, but 99% of it,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I had that. Don't really care. One piece.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Samesies.
Yeah. Actually, what do you see as some of the biggest mistakes women are making when it comes to their style?
Honestly, the mistake is not trusting yourself. The mistake is not listening to yourself. The mistake is stuffing down what you know will feel like truth and will be so activating and nourishing and beautiful and expansive for you, and not letting yourself just do it, not letting yourself say yes to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the biggest and for me only mistake. Because after that, whatever you create for me is art. Like who am I to say whether your outfit's good or not, or whether it meets expectations, or if your
Mhm.
skirt should be like, if you are feeling that heck yeah, and you know, whew, this is it, that's it.
It's interesting because when I became a style coach, really focused in on color analysis and dressing for your body type. And yeah, those are the things, the elements that we teach, which I think are, important to a certain level. But one thing I was asked about, when I became a style coach, I was 40. And
Mhm.
that's when I started being invited to speak about, all the things women over 40 should wear and should not wear. And so, I did my research and I'd have my talks. And the older
Yeah.
I've gotten, I'm like, it's not about your age. It's not about
Amen.
your age. So how do we
Agreed.
encourage women to really ditch it's almost like an ageist perspective. And I have women
It
comment
is.
Instagram all the time. Well, you should cut your hair short and you should wear this and you're too old to wear that. I'm like, why is age part of the conversation? And
Yeah. So what I like to say, because age, like any other rule of style, it's literally just made up. Someone
mm,
pulled it out of thin air and decided that that's the
mhm,
way it was going to be, and then other people started agreeing, and then people started upholding it. Like, it's as arbitrary as the rules of like baseball, right? Three
mm,
strikes you're out. They're all made up rules.
yeah.
The same exact thing happens for style. So for me, it's like the list is also like, okay, let's come up with rules, because in a way it's all about control and keeping people, this is kind of a bigger topic, but keeping women as tame and under control as possible. So we're going to
Mm,
find all these different ways to keep them in line, right? So if they're feeling super empowered and beautiful and amazing and gorgeous and activated, excuse me, I just swallowed my own tongue there. And activated, like, that's pretty threatening, right? Because
mm,
a woman in her full power is a lot, is
yeah.
magical, is anything is possible,
It's
right?
going to change the
So
world.
literally, right? So how can we? What are some ways that we can keep her believing that she's not magical? Keep her distracted from her magic and her
Mm,
power and the
mhm,
endless possibilities that she can create and her endless potential, right? Okay, age, weight, right?
right.
Size,
Right.
on and on and on. Like, so any
Comparisonitis.
comparison. And if you don't measure up, something is wrong with you. And when you think something is wrong with you forget what I just said, that you're magical, powerful, like
Mhm,
limitless potential, right? So to me, I'm they, who knows how it started or who the they is, right? But it is a thing. Like, that's what we learn. You have to be essentially perfect, and if you're not, you're wrong. Those are the two options. And
mhm.
so if you're a certain age and you're just a certain, like, dressing a certain way, you better fall in line, right?
Right. Right.
So I basically remind my clients that literally everything is made up. Like, literally every single rule is made up.
Mhm. Mic
All
drop.
about
That's a
about
mic
fashion.
drop right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So why do you have to stop your expression and embodiment and your biggest, like, the you're kind of taking yourself all the way in every way because of
Mhm.
some silly rules someone who knows when made up, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it actually doesn't even make logical sense
Yeah.
to me.
So
Yeah.
makes me think about color. I've talked for years about, well, and anyway, I'll just say it, but about wearing black. And I've been preaching like stop wearing black and start wearing the colors that light you up because and it's not that I mean and I've told so many women that black's not your best color, but here's the reason why, because so many women were coming to me and telling me basically it was their should color, it was their default
Yep.
color. I wear black because I don't know what else to wear.
Hmm.
So that's the whole philosophy, but there's an energy to color.
Of
Right?
course. Yeah.
Color, like, talk to me about how color can be activating.
Yeah, absolutely. So I agree with black. It's very blurry because it's an easy way to hide. It's an easy way to try to camouflage your body. It's an easy way to not call too much attention to yourself, an easy default way to look more professional, right? It's so unless black literally activates you and totally lights you up, which that is my case,
Mhm.
no, like, ask yourself why you're wearing it. I agree.
Yeah.
So for me, what I've noticed is certain people carry. So we all lead with two elements in my world. We all lead with two elements, right? And the tendency of those elements tends to be certain color palettes. Like for fire, for example, there's lots of jewel tones, stark white, golds, really, really rich, like deep colors, right? And so I have fire clients who actually won't dare wear black because it's too edgy, or
Wow.
they won't dare wear those deep colors, right? Or air is very springtime and happy and jovial and like playful, right? I'm air. And so it can seem too superficial, too quirky, too childlike, too silly, right? So you're not going to be taken seriously. And so I have clients who won't dare wear bubblegum pink or bright orange, right? They just won't do it because they want to be taken seriously. So of course, when they're resisting, I always say the element that you're resisting, that's what you got to lean into if you want to be activated, because it's that piece that has been missing in your wardrobe and in your self-acceptance ultimately. Right? Like if you've been trying hard to come off as smart, like I did, I'm speaking about myself. I wanted to seem like smart, and I wanted to be taken seriously, and I wanted to be credible, and I wanted whatever. But which fine. I'm not saying I'm not those things, but that's not what I lead with. Like my personality is not. That's not what comes out first, right? So
Right.
when I stopped making air wrong, when I stopped thinking like looking at all the negatives about air and just embraced it, that's when I like my outfits really activated in a whole new way, because you suddenly you've been like shopping and dressing from this, and then suddenly it's like your whole world opens up and you're like, I don't have to have these rules and these, like, I'm not the person who wears that. It just suddenly everything is possible, right? And it's
Right.
just, if it's a heck yeah, because it activates, that's enough. And it just what you create is so different from that point on. When you
For
say
sure.
yes, when you make it all about yes instead of no, when you start yesing yourself instead of knowing,
I love it.
wow-wee.
I love it. Tell me about your style. How do you describe your
Mm.
style? I know you said air, but what does that mean? And
So yeah. So I'm in my world, I'm air and space. So air
Mm,
is sort of springtime energy. So it's new, there's an innocence, it's playful, it's childlike, it's quirky. It's like little strange little objects, like, I love little
I
hands.
love
It's like,
that. That's very cool. Uh-huh.
thank you. Pops of lipstick. It can be like even this, like a sweetheart kind of sort of collar, right? Usually round. Those things are very air. A-line skirts, so it can be a little bit preppy and quirky, and it's almost like, I want to imagine like you're looking fabulous going to the library, like that's kind of air vibes.
Uh,
Space is otherworldly. It's cosmic. It can be androgynous. It's really attracted to sort of metallics and shimmer.
mm,
It can be off-putting because it's avant-garde. So it's like you have to, like, Tilda Swinton is like the poster child for space. And
love her.
so I love her too. And so when I put my stuff to, so my style really is a combination of air and space. So it's a little bit, so I feel like I've described it. I'm like a vintage cosmic librarian. It's kind of like that,
I love
right?
that.
Yeah.
That's so
So
fun.
yeah. So and sometimes it changes. Sometimes it's more space, more. Sometimes it's more air. Sometimes I don't even know what it is. But I trust myself enough. I trust my yes enough now to just
Mhm.
go for it anyway.
Yeah, very cool. So
Yeah.
what would you say some of your signature pieces are?
Ooh, I love earrings. I love strange kind of cosmic earrings, and also sort of earrings that kind of look like cartoons. So I have like these like lipstick
Mm,
tubes. And so I would say, yeah, signature is definitely earrings, glasses, and a lot of vintage stuff. I feel like I have a lot of one of my signature things is like outerwear that kind of looks like I'm a magician. So
huh?
a sequin cape that I'm looking at, or puff
Uh-huh.
sleeve pinstripe jacket, um, and lots of vintage things.
Uh-huh.
Definitely.
Do you feel like your daughter has been inspired by your style?
She's been inspired by my style in that she understands her style. So she's water and air. So we do
Okay.
have some overlap with the air. Sometimes I
Uh-huh.
like we like bows and things that are kind of cute, and like kind of Sanrio, Hello Kitty, like stuff like that. We love that. We have that overlap. And it's helped her really embrace and understand herself, to know that she's water. And it's very obvious, like sometimes she'll buy something that's water and she's like, this is so, and sometimes when I actually dress, because I've done videos where I dress as all the elements just to show what they like, the caricatures of them. And when I'm wearing the water, she's like, "Oh, Mama, you are so not water." And I'm like, "Boy, don't I know it."
You're not
Because
activated
I
right
am
now.
crawling out of my skin. Huh?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I totally relate to that. That's very cool. I'm sure she loves having you as her mother, just with all the
Oh, we have
creative
fun.
ways.
Oh yeah, I love her having her as my daughter too. It's
Yeah.
fun. We do definitely have fun.
But I think in teens, I mean, we've got 4 kids and they're older, but just seeing them go through their different styles over the years. And
Oh
what was it? My son said something to me the other day about, well, why didn't you tell me I should cut my hair like this or do this? I'm like, that is not my job. Like, it
yeah,
is to you to find, I'll guide you and I'll make suggestions, but it is not my job to say, hey, wear this, don't wear the, I mean, there were years where I did that, but I've come to realize I'm like, no, I'm here to, let you experiment and let you feel your
yeah.
because I think that's how it
Oh,
really happens.
that's
So,
beautiful. Yeah, and then there's not that pressure or that pull it like tug of war, and we're not trying to put our views or our what our heck yeah is onto them, right? They get to just have their own journey.
yes, yeah, and then they get to
That's
come full
amazing.
circle. But yeah, it's
Definitely. And
interesting.
at the end, they're like, "Yeah, okay, Mom, you did know what was up, but okay." Yeah, I had to get there on my own.
Yes.
I love it.
Ajay, is there
So
anything
cool.
else you'd like to share with us today?
What else would I like to share? I would just like to emphasize really like you can trust yourself. Like you already know everyone here has an energetic imprint. You know what you're resisting, you know what you are attracted to, you know what would totally take you to the next level.
Yeah.
And I would invite you to just play with the possibility of trusting yourself. What if you just trusted yourself really? It
Mhm.
can it can change everything. And it's almost like the act of just saying yes, doing what you are hearing, and then seeing, oh, like, okay, I'm still alive. I wore the outfit, I'm still alive. It helps you build that self-trust. That's what I love
Mhm.
about clothing. It's like the first line of defense to building trust in every area. So if you
Mhm.
can start showing yourself, I am trustworthy, and this outfit is bonkers, and yet I feel like I'm flying and gliding all over the world, and I'm the queen of the world. Beautiful. And I still am alive, and I still have a job, and my partner still loves me. Like, beautiful. Like, you can trust yourself. So, yeah. What if you trusted yourself? And what if you allowed clothing to help you build that trust even further and more
Mhm.
solidly? It's a
Love
magical thing.
that. I love that. All right, tell everybody where they can see you, hear you, find you,
Yeah. So
experience you.
I'm on Instagram. You can find me the way of the icon. On Facebook, I believe it's just Eyenie Schultz, straight up Eyenie Schultz. And I have a free quiz called the Iconic Brand Quiz, where you can find out what your elements are. Yeah, in
Yeah.
my world, and just sometimes it's fun, especially if you've worked with someone like you, amazing you, right? Like they can then see, oh my gosh, that's actually spot on. That's already how I'm dressing. So it's kind of cool confirmation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make sure and drop all those links in the show notes. So be sure you go and follow Ejani, take her quiz, and just keep an eye out for all her fabulous hashtag coded outfits.
Yeah. Thank
Love it.
you.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here. This has been fabulous.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. This was really fun. Like you
Sorry,
have
I'm
a baby, you have a toddler, and then you have a baby right after the toddler, right? The toddler is going to be jealous of the baby, and it's going to be trying to find get your attention, fight for its place. Earth is doing that. Earth is like, what about us? I thought, what about me? I carried you through all these years, and now you just dump me? Like, screw you, water, right? And water's like, dude, I just want to help her with her creativity. Like, let's flow, let's do this, right? Give me my space. So they're kind of literally fighting. So what you can do as the carrier of these two consciousnesses is you can literally start talking to them. And I know that might seem a little bloop, bloop, right? But it really works because again, they're two consciousnesses. When you go to get dressed, instead of being like, I'm going to go to my financial advisor. No, actually, I'm dressing for me. The next step would be like, and earth and water, I love you both. I'm so grateful to you both. And you are both equally important. And I know that together you're going to help me go like create my most iconic style. So guide me together. I am inviting you to work together
Hmm.
and then see what emerges.
Great, thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Yeah. And play with that. Talk to them for a few days, a few weeks, and just I can pretty much guarantee you're going to notice some outfits you've never imagined before, and you're going to see the harmony that they're going to start creating.
Well, I can see a little bit, just like in this shirt. It's a buttoned up shirt, but it's got embroidery and wide sleeves, and it's a fuller cut.
Exactly.
So to me, that's sort of like
Absolutely.
more of a blending type thing.
Total love child. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. Gail,
Oh,
I've
and
definitely seen you evolve into a more creative style.
mhm,
But maybe that classic is like that, and that you said that was the earth or that was the water.
Earth,
Earth.
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 Yeah.
Maybe that classic is like it's still a piece of it, but it's just that, like you said, like you're wearing a button down, which is technically classic, but it's
Right.
got the trim, it's got the embroidery, it's got more of a like it leads with the creativity.
Definitely.
Yeah. But it's good that you pointed that out. And one time, I just remember, I've just made a few notes. My child challenged me. It was something he was doing. He challenged me to wear a mismatched outfit because it's like, mom, you're always so put together. Mom, you're always this. What, did you ever think about like wearing a pair of pants and a shirt that like just didn't go together, and see how that feels? And I think like that was sort of what you were saying before, like play a little bit, wear some crazy stuff and see what it makes you feel like. So
yeah, and you can also sometimes just be like, hey, today you can even alternate. Today you guys are creating together. Water, you know what? You take the lead today. Let's do it.
That's a great idea. Thank you so
And
much.
just see. My pleasure. Thank you. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, I love this. I think the elements, I've studied feng shui, so I know a little bit about the elements too. So, and to be able to line them up with the classic and then the more romantic, because see, that's sort of how I defined myself before. Well, not defined, but those were my words that I used to kind of select the things that I liked. But
yeah,
anyway, I was really drawn to that energetically too, that classic style for a long time. But I live in a different location. I live at the beach now.
Amazing.
So there's a lot more reasons to sort of flow in that other direction too. So
yeah, I bet Water's like, oh, we can have so much fun. Can you just let me have more fun? Let's do it. So yeah, you could totally do some Water takeover days and just see what happens.
good idea. Thank you so much. That's very, very helpful. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. Lovely seeing you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Tally, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. So what's really funny is Gail sent me the information before the call, like a few days ago. So she's like, go take the quiz, go take the quiz. So what's hilarious is that I am earth and water while she's water and earth. So, and it makes sense because I've been leaning into more classics, more natural, but like a relaxed classic.
Yeah.
Like, and it's very, like, I used to be a little bit more edgy and more dramatic, but that's just like not working for me. So now I just have like a hint of the edge sometimes, but I'm like leaning into a very natural classic. But if I get too much of the water, like too much of the flowy, that just does not work for me at all. But I thought it was very interesting. Taking the quiz and the questions that were asked too, because I was like, the first time I took it, not realizing I was going to take it again like this, I was like, wait, I have more than one answer. Like, I don't know which one to pick. So the first time I did it, I picked like what instinctively came. And the second time I picked the ones that I was like hemming and hawing about, like this, my second, what I wanted to choose in addition. And I thought it was interesting because, my style has also changed. I was living in Ohio. I moved to Texas a year and a half ago. So the weather's different. The vibe is different. My job is different. My lifestyle is different. So a lot of things have changed. And in that time I evolved, but then even since then, I have more evolved with my style. And, like I wore some outfit the other day, but now I realized the problem was it was too much water. It was too flowy, like the top and the bottom. Like I needed something for me to make it not all flow. Like, I think I needed some classic thrown in, but I don't actually like the classic that's very buttoned up. Like, it makes me anxious. Like, I like a more relaxed, natural classic. I think that's what we were calling it, right, Mary Michelle? Natural or relaxed classic.
Girl next door, I think.
Yeah, and it's funny because I just feel like I'm getting back to not that I need to go back to my old self, but like, before you start thinking about all these things when you're younger and you just are, and like kids will just be like, well, I'm gonna wear this tutu with this tennis shoes and whatever they walk out the door in.
Exactly.
Like, when I'm getting back to the style that I'm with right now, it feels very me in a way that I haven't experienced in a different, like, in a while. And I'm wanting to be less flowy, less dramatic, just very like more understated, more just like kind of like not in the background, because for me this is not the background, but just like I've gone to a more neutral palette. I've gone to just different kinds of textures. Even I'm wearing, part of that is because the temperatures here are different and I can't wear the same fabrics. I just can't. I'm sweating. So I've had to like change fabrics. I've had to really rethink a lot of things in my wardrobe. And it's fun, but it's like, sometimes I feel like I get stuck, like Gail gets stuck where she feels like she's getting stuck in her old classic head. I feel like I'm getting stuck in my too dramatic head. So like from the past. So I'm trying to find the, like it's like you said, it's hit or miss. Like sometimes you put something on and you're like, that's not right. I got to go change. I've done that a few times recently where I never used to do that before. But I think it's just because like intuitively, I'm like, this doesn't feel like me anymore. I can't wear I can't wear the outfit this way. I have to like change something.
Yeah, so you're almost there, but there's some tweaking that needs to happen. And those are all really good awarenesses. Like that's all progress also, you know what I mean? But the word that I want to offer for earth that I use as a sort of the adjective for it is grounded. So it's like, yes, you have the water, but it's also grounded, right? It sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt very accurate. I'm also a Virgo, like also earth is like my, that's like, if you're into that, it seems like you guys are into that stuff. I'm into that stuff. And it's like, it felt like before I took the quiz and even really knew what any of it was, I just thought to myself, oh, I'm going to be earth. I didn't even know what it like affiliated with, but I was like, I bet my sign is going to be earth. And then like, it was like very clear.
Yeah.
Well, Virgo is earth.
When's your birthday?
August 25th.
That's actually my ex-husband's birthday.
Oh,
that's okay.
Do you know all about Virgos?
Emily, I didn't know you were a Virgo too.
Are you a Virgo?
Yes.
When's your birthday, Gail?
September 17th.
Oh, I know somebody else with that birthday too. I have a lot of Virgo and Leo friends. Like, and I always have, for some reason, like that's always been a thing. But
Meredith,
it's funny when you start thinking about it.
But go ahead. Eyenie, when's your birthday? While we're talking about,
I'm an Aquarius, so I'm January 30th. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm January 4th. I'm a Capricorn.
I'm married to a Capricorn.
I'm married to a Gemini.
Oh, my daughter's a Gemini. Look, we keep going round and round. My water air baby is a Gemini.
I'm surrounded by everybody in my family was a Gemini, but except me.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. It's funny how that happens, right?
Crazy
cosmic stuff. Yeah.
Can I ask, so like how, like, because everybody gets like two elements.
Yep.
I think this is kind of what Gail was asking, but like, how do you know how to merge them, like with style, or like, because I think that's where we get stuck, right? Like if Gail's feeling like she's being too much one of that, like is there a place to start like with that? Is it like color? Is it shape? Is it like something specific to try to work with those together to marry them?
So basically it really is. And I know this seems like very fluid and vague and ambiguous and sort of whatever. It really, if you start literally talking to your elements, if you literally start asking them to guide you, you'll start putting outfits together in a different way that will then feel like an F yeah, right? A heck yeah. And you'll look at it and be like, wait a minute. Huh?
You can drop the F-bombs here.
Oh, here I can. Okay. So it can feel like a fuck yeah. You don't even understand why, but it kind of doesn't matter because you're like, it happened, right? Because what happens with, how do I put them together? How can I get the perfect combination or perfect mix or like perfect balance? Those are brain questions. And so the elements, like they're not connected to brain, they're connected to the cosmos and to iconic you, right? So it's really about surrendering. I know, sweet Virgo, my close sister's a Virgo, so I get it. So it's about
I know I
surrendering.
can't turn off the analytical
I
piece.
know.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to
Right.
be sorry. So it can just literally be like, I don't have to always turn off my brain. I'm going to play artist and I'm going to just brain, like, we're not going to listen to you right now. Like, you go have a cocktail. We're just going to play here and like with some finger paint, right? I don't need that. You go have a drink, go relax. I'll call you when we're done. And you literally just like talk to your elements, ask random questions. So you can say like, hey, element, right? Hey, water, hey, earth. What are we creating today? You can even talk to iconic you. You can just say, what am I meant to wear today? Like outfit emerge. And even approaching it anywhere except for the filter of brain, who wants to figure things out and solve. Brain thinks that there's a problem right now and that you need to figure it out. And there is no problem.
Right.
There's no problem. This is art. You're literally just playing and experimenting. So brain, stop trying to solve for the answer. There's not one answer. I know that's like le gasp, clutch pearls, like horrible for brain. And send it away and just experiment. Like, really, if you allow yourself to experiment without having it need to make sense, you will dazzle yourself.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Like, and to what Gail says, so later today, I'm very anxious. I have to go get some dental work that I scheduled a while back. That's like, I'm having a lot of work done today. And my first thought when I woke up, I don't usually think about it because I work from home, but I was like, oh God, I got to sit in the dentist chair for 2 hours later today. And like, I really thought about what I wanted to wear because I was trying to think like, I need to be as comfortable as possible because that's the only way I'm going to be able to like relax. And then I put on like, I'm wearing this cream sweatshirt over a black t-shirt with like ecru jeans, like, and I was wearing different shoes. And then I changed like nicer shoes. And then I was like, no, I got to put on tennis shoes. Like I have to feel very like safe, like when I go to this appointment, and I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just my own anxiety over the appointment. But it's really interesting because a lot of times I just kind of, Mary Michelle, I used to go into my closet and plan a week's worth of outfits. That just used to be, part of that's the little OCD in me, whatever. But I would plan for a week and be like, I don't want to think about it. I'm too busy in the morning. But now I'm thinking about it either the night before or sometimes not till the morning, which is I'm trying to go with it.
That's
for me,
new.
this is like a new concept.
That's amazing.
But I've just been feeling different in my clothes and just feeling like I want to wear things differently. So and the weather's been consistent enough that I could plan them, but I'm just trying to get less planning and more
being.
relaxed.
Yeah.
Being. Just
being.
Yeah, just trying to be more in the moment.
Didn't you have some time in Texas? Just thinking, Tally lives in Texas, but Eyenie, didn't you live in Texas for a little while?
No, I didn't live in Texas. No, but I'm originally from Colorado.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. If we have a moment, you had given some of the characteristics of like your air and space. Can you give it on some of the other elements?
Yeah, definitely. So air and space I covered. Earth. So earth is grounded. Earth is reliable. It's classic. It's timeless. It's fitted. It's beautiful cuts. It's usually going to be things that last you 20 years because they don't go out of style. Because there's that reliability with earth. And it's usually sort of a bold contrast, like landscape, kind of like if you think of the Rocky Mountains, right? The blue sky and the orange mountains. So lots of contrast. And it can be also lots of sort of animal patterns. So, zebra prints or, what is it? Leopard print, things like that. That's going to be very, very earth. And there's an elegance and a fierceness to earth as well. And then what is left? We have fire. So fire is very edgy. Fire is always, it's rebellious. It's sexy. It is the most extroverted of the elements, so it's very visible, so it's going to catch your eye. It's flashy. Lots of jewel tones, deep jewel tone colors, and it's kind of fire's recipe for accessories, for example, is more is more. So stacked bracelets, lots of necklaces, just over accessories and color and mismatching and things like that. And yeah, so it can look. Go ahead.
I'm
and
sorry,
water.
Water.
So water is flowy. It's the most introverted. So it's, if you think of a drop of water, it's always trying to find the deepest point. So it's very inward facing. It's very soothing. Its priority is comfort. It has a lot of movement, soft, beautiful textiles, soothing colors. Lots of, it can also be natural fibers, sort of, like linens and things like that. And where fire is sexy, water is more sensual. So it's sort of like that. And whether it's a man or a woman, it's very feminine energy. So it's gentle, it's warm. I call it warm hug energy. Yeah.
Cool.
I love it. I love it.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all that.
Thank you.
Oh, my
thank you.
pleasure. Of course.
Fab. Just wonderful.
Oh,
So
Thank you. I've loved this chat.
Yeah, this has been
thank
wonderful.
you. I'm gonna
And
have to go back and
I am-
catch the beginning, rewatch the beginning. What I
Yes.
missed.
Yeah, well, you missed some good stuff. So,
Yes.
but I will get that posted as soon as possible. And too bad everybody else missed out. So I'm grateful that you ladies could show up. But thank you for being here. And
Thank you, Mary
I
Michelle.
am just
Thank you.
grateful. So thank you for taking time out of your schedule. And my trans child and I are planning a trip to Nice in I think it's September. So I may let you
Where do you
give
live?
you a call and say, hey, let's go have coffee.
Yeah, amazing. How fun is that? When in September?
Well, we're working on dates. They're in school
Okay.
right now, so trying to figure out, they go to school, college, but it's all virtual. So they're like, I can go whenever, but we're trying to plan around a break. So
Okay,
Gail,
okay. Oh yeah, keep me posted.
yeah. Gail, what did you ask?
I was wondering about Anjani. Where does she live? And are you in Nice or?
No, I'm in the south of France, and it's a small medieval town called Albi, Albi. It's about an hour from Toulouse and like an hour and a half from the Spanish border. So it's the southwest.
Wow.
Very nice.
Cool. Yay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
thank
dreamy.
you. This
It's
has been magical. So I look forward to it. And this will post on the podcast 2 weeks from yesterday. So
amazing. Okay, well, I'll share it everywhere else. So thank you so much, and thank you for your questions, and you're all amazing. And I love the dork out, Mary Michelle. Love the questions. Thank you, amazing one.
Love it. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Awesome. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Ciao.
See you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.